fresh from 3 hours of playing tennis.
Here we go.
Here we go. We are at a hot rooftop party at the Fairmont Century Plaza Hotel, but it is a cool evening. And I am Lonita Cook, and I'm here with the Critics' Choice Awards pre-party, and I'm with Tim Gordon from FilmGordon.com and Jazz Tankay from Variety, and you're going to actually talk to us about The Artisan.
Yes, I am.
Yes, tell me more about The Artisan, or tell me something.
Well, I cover everything below the line, like the cinematographers, and we have an incredible lineup. I mean, Ari Wegner's nominated, and Greg Fraser, who did Dune and The Batman. So he's done some incredible work. And
Creme de la creme.
Yes, and Ari Wegner could go on to make history at the Oscars if she wins Best Cinematography. So let's see what happens tomorrow, first of all, at the Critics' Choice Awards. And
yeah, so Ari Wegner is nominated for a Critics' Choice Award for The Power of the Dog. And I'm telling you, that is some of the deepest, most multi-layered cinematography. There's a story within the story. And so I'm rooting for Ari Wegner.
Watch this space. And Tim, didn't we see that at Middleburg together?
We did indeed. Oh, we did indeed see that at Middleburg. So, yes, Power of the Dog is one of the films that is really going to be a huge contender this year.
Yeah, it is second up with 10 nominations for Critics' Choice Awards. Yep. Yes, 10.
Jane Campion, that's the big one this year.
There's also Belfast and Dune and King Richard and
yes,
Tick Tick Boom, and there's a lot of stuff out there.
A lot of stuff nominated. So our top two with 11 nominations each. That's going to be West Side Story, and who else we got? Is that Belfast and West Side Story,
right? Yes.
with 11 nominations for
Kenneth Branagh. Am I pronouncing
Kenneth
it?
Branagh.
Sorry about that.
Branagh.
I always mispronounce his last name. I apologize.
It's cute.
But his film is wonderful, along with Power of the Dog. And as you said, Jazz, there are so many really good contenders this year. I'm really eager to see when we get the results tomorrow which film will emerge. Because this is also very important this weekend, because there are several other organizations and shows that are going on as we make that late push for the Academy Awards that are coming up later this month.
Yep. Well, we have DGA going on right now. And then tomorrow we have the BAFTAs, and we have a UK edition of the Critics' Choice.
Okay, so that is some fancy strategizing, right?
I don't know.
What? Look, she got to be here with us.
I was like, can I get on a plane right now and go to the London one? But no, I want to hang out here. So
yes. I mean, Los Angeles is sunny, you know.
Yes.
There's a lot of activity behind us because we're rooftoping it right now. How are you feeling about this? Because it's a little chilly up here.
I'm hardcore. Look, I'm in a t-shirt.
They are coming with some heaters.
You are hardcore. We're coming with heaters?
They're coming with heaters.
All right. This is fun.
Wait, you're from the East Coast, so this should be normal for you.
Well,
you could be wearing shorts and...
Unfortunately, if anybody's watching from the East Coast, it snowed today, and it's like 17 degrees right now. And I was trying to be incognito. I'm not trying to rub it in. That is beautiful out here in Southern California.
It is gorgeous. But you coming from Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm coming from Kansas City. It is also quite cold in Kansas City, so this beautiful LA weather is kind of tip-top for me tonight.
It is indeed.
And I'll rub it in. It's nice.
I'm trying to be nice because people are already upset, but it's a beautiful night. And this is a wonderful setting. Can we talk about our sponsor tonight, or one of our rooftop sponsors?
Kyrie's Cookies.
They are excellent.
Before this, I actually had half of a Georgia pecan cookie, and oh my gosh, it is the best cookie I've had in like forever.
A Georgia pecan cookie. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'm going to be very transparent. The cookie she was just holding up is actually mine. I have not had a chance to eat it yet. But from what I understand from talking to everybody, the cookies are, look, the cookies are delicious. So I would like to eat my cookie shortly.
So, and you said you've had the cookie already, one cookie already.
Half a cookie.
Half a cookie. Okay. Describe it for me. Is it kind of crispy, crunchy, or is it soft and gooey?
It is soft and gooey, and because I got the Georgia pecan one. It's got caramel, so it's like sticky. So my fingers are still sticky from eating this cookie like 2 seconds before I jumped on this. So if you are coming to the Critics' Choice pre-party tonight, or you're going to be there tomorrow, make sure you grab a cookie.
Now,
Cookie Monster's going to be very jealous, by the way.
Well, the thing that's interesting is that we're all trying to maintain our boyish and girlish figures, and having all these cookies is not really helping.
I played 3 hours of tennis today.
She said, I did my due diligence.
I am allowed to eat a cookie. And on the subject of tennis, can we talk about King Richard?
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that was actually good. I love that transition.
Yes.
Look at that segue.
I said, oh, shoot, I think it's some professionals up here tonight.
Let's talk about King Richard.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes. So King Richard is a fan favorite, I think. The first time I saw it, how many times have you seen King Richard?
Three.
I've seen it 4 times. Cried like a baby every single time. First time, I cried so much, I said I have to see it again because I didn't see enough of it through my tears.
I saw, the first time I remember seeing that was on my birthday. It was the first screening they had. And I love Serena and Venus and this whole story. And you forget, that the Venus came up first, and this story just reminds you of that. And then Oracene, Anjanou Ellis, who is a nominee.
Yes.
Here. What a phenomenal performance.
Yes, her career, she's been kind of low key throughout her career. When you see her on screen, you know it's about to be something fire, something beautiful. But then she just really stepped into the forefront in King Richard. I am loving her performance in this movie. And I think that Will Smith maybe would not have been able to give the performance he gave without her supporting performance.
Well, I think the thing about Will Smith is a lot of people, well, we don't forget, but Will Smith was nominated 20 years ago for Ali. I thought he had a shot. He didn't have a shot that year because Denzel Washington, of course, won for Training Day. Several years later, The Pursuit of Happiness, he was nominated again but lost out to Forrest Whitaker. I think it's Will Smith's year. And I remember talking to your colleague, Clayton Davis, when we were in Middleburg, and he told us back in October, he was like, it's Will's to lose. And I was like, you think? And now I think. It feels like
4
with 2 weeks
screenings
ago,
in, and it's still
Will
his,
Smith
yes.
this is probably some of the strongest work he's ever done. So I hope he is rewarded for it.
Denzel is nominated again this year with The Tragedy of Macbeth, and I think this is one of his best performances. One of the best performances of his career. I said, this is not Denzel the superstar. This is not Denzel the Academy Award winner. This is Denzel the thespian. And so I don't know. What do you think about that?
His tortured performance as Lord Macbeth is phenomenal. I was so happy when he was nominated here. But to go back, I think Will Smith is so hard to beat. He has it. A lot of people don't like to say the word locked. He has this performance locked in. He has that win locked in. And I can't see anybody.
No. I agree with you. I think Denzel Washington is so good all the time. It's really hard to quantify when people say, well, Denzel is really good and this is a great performance. It is a great performance by Denzel Washington, and I've seen him match this in previous years. But to your point, I think it's just Will Smith's year. I think there's a lot of goodwill for no pun intended, a lot of goodwill for Will Smith. And it just feels like, much like several years ago when Leonardo DiCaprio was in a similar situation and there was so many people that loved Leo, it was like, let's do it for Leo. It feels like people are rallying for Will Smith this year.
I would agree. I think that we rally for him all the time because he's Will Smith. I mean, there are a few people, not just actors, but people who come off as charismatic and as relatable and feel like family, when we see them on screen. And so I think we do root for him. And so I think there is a lot to say, not just about who he is as an actor, but the movie itself. Those moments like, okay, so I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there are moments in...
Wait, stop. If you haven't seen this movie by now, spoil it. I'm not giving out any spoilers.
You need to have seen King Richard.
Well, I will just say, because this is a love letter to fatherhood, like no other that we've seen, I think that is one of the key reasons why it's in for Will.
So we need to transition to talk about Power the Dog because there's been so much conversation around this movie. Jane Campion, of course, who I think is really the front runner for Best Director this year, along with Chloe Zhao last year. In the 94-year history of the Academy Award, there's only been 2 women that have ever won Best Director, and this year we're looking at a historic situation where we could have women win back-to-back, which I think would be absolutely huge. But the film itself, what are you guys thinking about Power the Dog?
Ooh. I agree with you on Jane Campion. Mm-hmm. I definitely think she's probably the one to be in director. Mm-hmm. Power of the Dog, I love the film. I've had phone calls from people saying, Jazz, can you explain the ending? How did he die? Like, what happened?
Oh.
Sorry, didn't mean to ruin the end. I didn't say who.
Wait a minute, stop. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. How do you not have seen it?
Yes.
Spoiler room.
Oh my God.
No spoilers
Sorry.
whatsoever.
Everyone who's here probably loves films and is watching. I mean,
Yes,
they're here for a
yes.
We will
reason.
stop.
Yes.
Also,
Yes,
there's probably
you know what?
also realize there's probably a lot of publicists watching right now trying to get a little check marks off to say like, should we start celebrating early now too?
Oh,
I
so
got
yes,
just so
you,
you
I
know.
got you.
yes,
All right,
yes.
well, that's a fair point.
So
All
that's
right,
Derek
but
Santi, our producer tonight. And
Yes.
so he is a no spoilers in the house.
No spoiling
I
rule.
cannot believe we have to have a no spoiler rule on movies that have been out for 2 and 3 months.
Yes,
These
especially
movies-
ones
Really?
like The Power of the Dog that are so powerful.
So now that we talked a little bit about Power of the Dog, the other film that's really making a lot of noise is Belfast. And Kenneth,
Branagh.
thank you, his autobiographical story of his childhood in Northern Ireland during the Troubles. I've seen this film 3 times on the big screen.
Yes,
I
stitched in a
really,
very striking
really-
black and white with
Oh my God.
pops, tufts of color.
I really, 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 really embraced this film. This film really resonated to me all 3 times I've seen it. Is it Saoirse Hines?
Saoirse?
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Saoirse.
Ciarán Hinds? I'm sorry,
Oh,
thank you.
Ciarán Hinds.
Ciarán Hinds, I think, is absolutely fantastic. I think it's going to come down in the best supporting actor race between him and is Troy. How do you pronounce? Yeah, for Coda.
Coda.
I think so. So there are definitely some really good races and some good themes that we're going to be looking at tomorrow. But of course, I turn to Jazz because this is what Jazz has been doing.
Yes,
for the last several months.
but can you talk a little bit about Jude Hill as well from Belfast?
Jude Hill,
Yes.
what an incredible actor. Like 10 years old, steals the show, holds his own against the great Judi Dench, Jamie Dornan, Katrina Balfe, Ciarán Hinds. You know, and it's great watching him, especially in that opening scene. And this is where the cinematography is phenomenal.
Right.
And you just see his world change as he runs down the street and something happens. No spoilers. And
Something.
something happens, and
Something.
the world changes around
Yes.
him. And what makes Belfast so great is that it is from his point of view, and you see that in the cinematography and just his look.
But and it is autobiographical, and so we understand that this movie isn't just a black and white movie set in the past, but this is memory come to life, come to
absolutely.
Yeah.
revisit us. And so I think that's one of the powerful threads of Belfast is that Kenneth Branagh has put his heart and soul into this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nostalgia, like, you know, you've got like themes from like Star Trek or like High Noon, and you hear that and it's like it triggers your childhood. And there's that moment in Technicolor where you're like, oh my gosh, I know this song, I know this movie, and it's beautiful.
They do visually in this movie to let us know what was striking for him as a boy, what has stayed with him, and so those things that are in color, I think, are
For those who
Yeah.
stayed, for those who left. Oh my God! Every time I was like, oh my God, I love this movie.
All
So-
three times.
Oh my God.
Times. I think I've
sorry, I
seen it
didn't-
4 times.
Well, never mind. I didn't-
No,
But,
we're not.
So
We're
we
not.
have a spoiler. We have a
There's
spoiler
no
free.
spoilers, but I just try to keep some mystery alive
Some
for anyone out there.
mystery.
Because at the same time, that's what we're doing. When it comes to these awards too, we are essentially getting people interested enough to go watch it again so they can put it back in theaters or go buy it on Blu-ray
Absolutely.
as well. So like, even though we're to the point of awards, like that process isn't done yet. Like the finding it is still out there. It's still an option.
You know, and
Well-
that's one thing that I want to talk. That's a little bit off topic of the awards, if I may. The role of the critic, because we don't just critique films, but we also promote. We also support. We also invite people into it, a cinematic experience. And so, what do you think about what we do as critics, as CCA members?
I think what we do is so important. So many times, I love House of Gucci to the fact, like we're talking about true, Kenneth Branagh's Belfast being autobiographical. This is like a true story, and I loved it. I still love it to this day. I think I called it murderously delicious. And, what we do is important because I've had people like, oh, I saw it after you've like raved about it nonstop. And it helps get, like people go and see it. Same with Coda. I talk about it all the time, and then you have people message you. It's like, where can I find this film? It's like, well, you can watch Coda on Apple TV Plus or Power of the Dog on Netflix.
And that was one thing, the movie House of Gucci, I loved it too. I thought it was a mob opera without the violence.
I love that.
And and the use of Pavarotti, he is my all-time favorite singer, and so the use of his music to kind of underscore the story, the narrative. I just thought it was a brilliant touch, and of course befitting, right?
Yeah.
But I also thought Lady Gaga.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, it was so juicy, so delicious. And then you have like her playing off of against Jared Leto,
who I didn't even know was in the movie. So when I see a movie, I don't research it beforehand. I just go, oh yeah, I want to see that because Lady Gaga. And then I was watching the credits and I saw his name and I said, where was he in this movie? I just floored by his performance.
He was so good. I mean, she was great. I think what was so great about this was like you're watching Patrizia Reggiani, Patrizia Gucci. You're not watching Lady Gaga. And that's props to the hair and makeup team who did that, and they didn't use any prosthetics on her. I mean, Jared Leto was covered under prosthetics. And they're also nominated here, but... yeah,
yes,
incredible.
The design of a lot of these movies, from the cinematography, talking about Ari Wegner, all the way to costumes with Cruella and hair and makeup with House of Gucci. The design has been on point in these movies this season.
Well, to that, another gorgeous film is West Side Story.
Yes.
We have to talk about West Side Story.
Yes. We do. Yes, West Side Story is a movie going in, Jazz, that my initial response was like, okay, if Steven Spielberg's not going to change the time period, what can he do to kind of breathe life into this film? And I'm here to tell you, if you haven't seen West Side Story yet, not only does Steven Spielberg understand the assignment, but he really elevates this material. I thought even the part of having Rita Moreno back in the film, recast in a different role.
Inspired.
I just think that West Side Story is probably one of the bigger surprises that I've seen this year, because going in, I'm like, there's no way Steven Spielberg can do this, and he did it again. So I really love West Side Story. Nominated for, is it 10 Critics' Choice?
It is 11.
11
Critics' Choice.
And Jazz, I know you like this film as well.
Oh my gosh, Ariana DeBose. I mean, if you had discovered her in Schmigadoon,
I discovered her first in Schmigadoon.
or if you haven't seen her in Hamilton, which is also on Disney Plus.
Yes.
She blows you away. And like you, Tim, I went in thinking, do we really need a reboot of West Side Story?
Right.
What can you do? What needs, but how dare we question one of the greatest filmmakers in the world, Steven Spielberg?
Of all
He
time.
delivered in spades, aces, whatever you call it. But Ariana's performance is phenomenal.
And I agree about her performance. I loved everything about it. it reinforced what I believed from the original, which is a boy like that who kill your brother. Okay. All right. But the thing that surprised
Even more so
me.
in this film.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. It was like, okay, she drove it home for us. But the thing that surprised me was Ansel Eckhart's. Is that his name?
Ansel Elgort.
Elgort, yeah.
Elgort. Thank you for that.
He surprised you?
His singing surprised me. It reminded me of a young Perry Como, and I just
I love him.
Yeah.
He surprised you.
I want to play poker with you. I want to play poker with you. I saw that face.
no, I loved his singing.
Okay.
Okay, y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. Hold on, wait a minute.
We'll let you have that
If
one.
there's a publicist watching, yes. We love his performance in the film.
We love his performance.
No, in all of the sincerity, it brought me to tears. It was like it stopped me. It really did. When I first heard his voice, I'm surprised in this moment to be the only one feeling this way.
Wait a minute, can I ask a question? Is there any love at all, anything for Nightmare Alley this year for Bradley Cooper? That movie, that was another one that surprised me with its kind of circular storytelling. Just an amazing cast, Bradley Cooper, Toni Collette.
Performances.
God, Ron Perlman. There's so many. Willem Dafoe, Kate Blanchett.
It's up for eight categories. It's in 8 categories. So
Oh
it
my
is
God.
definitely
It's stunningly
a lot of love
beautiful
too.
to look at.
Best
Jazz-
picture, best director, best cinematography, best production design, best
Okay.
costume, best hair and makeup, best visual effects, and of course, best score by
We've
Is
got
it-
some
is it-
phenomenal
is it just a
actors
situation
nominated.
this year that it's going to be. Pardon me, because I was going to say, is this just a case that this is going to be a film that there's just other films that are overshadowing it in the race this year?
I think the quality of films this year is phenomenal.
Yes.
I think in any other year,
We are in a high stakes year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But who knows? I mean, people love Del Toro. He
Love
could
him.
surprise. I'm not ruling that out. The film is incredible.
Yes.
It's two beautiful worlds, like the carnival world and the noir world, the Art Deco world, and that's why Tamara Deverell has that nomination. Luis Sequeira has.
And that was one
Yeah.
thing that I appreciated about Nightmare Alley is that the artistry that it represents, not just what goes into it, because that's clear. I mean, but that's Del Toro, right? Like, of course. But what it represents, those worlds, like you said, it's beautifully done. Just to watch it I was captivated.
Yeah.
Just from the coloring and I was in.
I'm with you. And I think we've talked about pretty much every film except Dune.
Yes.
So
We have not talked
you
about Dune.
need to understand, first and foremost, that David Lynch's Dune is my all-time favorite movie. And so coming into this remake, I was not rooting for this movie.
Wow.
And it stole my heart. It stole my heart.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
My son's name is Muad'Dib. So when I say this is my all-time favorite movie, I mean it. I'm one of those people, okay? And so coming into the remake, it was an emotional experience for me. It was not as a critic that I came into it. It's very personal. And so it stole my heart. the
Oh
remake.
my gosh, I am like the complete opposite. I grew up in the UK, and every time they try to show Dune, every time Dune was on TV, I'd be like, I don't understand this film. Like, I'm trying to get this. So it didn't resonate with me. So going into this, Denis Villeneuve is an incredible filmmaker, and I was like, okay, go in with eyes open, as we do as critics.
Yes.
By the end of that, I was blown away.
Yes.
It is a visual masterpiece.
Yes.
He did what nobody else could do in terms of like taking this iconic book film, making it his own.
Yes.
He put his own stamp on that, and then he dared to split it into 2 movies, which
is necessary.
bold
Yes.
and necessary.
Yes.
But it was such a great thing to do for this film.
Yes.
And
He brought from the book, what David Lynch is doing was not able to do, but for us fans of the original movie, he put little nuggets in there for us.
Yeah.
That I said, okay, he knows me. He knows I'm in here. Like, it felt very made for somebody like me as well. So I was impressed.
Incredible performances, incredible cinematography. Again, props to Greg Fraser, because I was speaking to Greg the other day, and I said, every time I see this film, whether it's from beginning to end or just clips of it, I'm getting emotionally attached to these characters.
Yes.
And it's because of his incredible work there. Jacqueline Weston, Bob Morgan did the costumes and those still suits. Stunning
For
work
me,
again.
it was the aircraft.
Yeah.
It was a Dragonfly aircraft. I said, wow, it like little details that, you might gloss over in another film because it was so important. And it brought the story forward, visually forward, but just all together, and then culturally, just a step into the present.
I think what also made that film work so well is that Denis did so much of that in camera and not on green screen or not on blue screen.
Yes.
Like, he really was out there in Jordan, in Budapest, building these sets in the desert.
Yes.
And you see that.
I will have to say this. I have not in the past been a fan of Timothée Chalamet. And so I was a little bit concerned about him being cast as Paul Muad'Dib. I just was like, because I loved the original so much. But I said, okay, am I converted? After watching, I said, I think I'm converted. But I will say Timothée Chalamet has made me a fan with his performance in Don't Look Up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I love that film.
Yes.
Adam McKay and his satire, and what an incredible cast. Timothy, Jennifer Lawrence,
Yes.
superb.
Meryl
Meryl
Streep, Leonardo DiCaprio. Everybody is in this movie.
Yes.
Rob Morgan. I mean, there's so many talented folks. But this film, I think what made it work so well for me was that we've just lived through 4 years of a thing without
Yes.
kind of saying
Your
what
president
that thing
as
is.
a diva.
We went through 4 years of a thing, and this movie sort of is just, it kind of brings it all back, but in a very satirical way, but not really satirical, because it feels like something that, despite the fact that it's funny on screen, that we kind of lived through, and it sort of really kind of happened to us. So it's a very interesting experience watching Don't Look Up. And I kept saying, Jazz, the whole time I was watching it, yeah, something like that could actually happen. It actually already did. So, but I just thought it was an amazing film with an amazing cast, and I agree with you about Adam McKay. So many amazing films. I'm actually watching right now his series on HBO Max, Winning Time, The Rise of the Laker Dynasty. Adam McKay is really, really talented at the types of films that he takes on and makes. I remember The Big Short, of how much I love that film as well. So, yes.
Yes. I was in for Don't Look Up. I had a pleasant experience. Because I loved it, but I saw it more as a message film, as a cause film, which I like, but I know it can be tough to manage, and I think he did a phenomenal job.
I think this film, though, is fighting uphill with a lot of the other films that we've already discussed. This film, I'm not sure how much inroads this film will make from Netflix. Netflix has got all their chips pushed to the table on the film we talked about earlier, Power the Dog. So.
Yes, that's so true. Well, we are here at a rooftop party. The sun has set. We are in Los Angeles at the
we've been
pre-party.
talking for a while.
Yes, we have.
My
The sun
God, it
has
was-
gone down. The stars are out.
Right. It was light when we started. Wow, what happened?
And this is the pre-party with the Critics' Choice Association in advance of the Critics' Choice Awards. Go ahead and say what's up to us, and make sure you use our hashtag Critics' Choice, Critics' Choice Awards. Yes.
We need to find you some other critics. I got a cookie to eat.
And I'm going to have a little piece. And we're going to kick it to you, Derek.
Oh, no, I'm just going to say that, we are welcome to let you go and go, but feel free to let any critics you see out there know to come out and see us too, because we're going to be here talking about all the awards and really going through all the categories we can too. So we're here, I believe, until 9. So we're going to be going through and talking about all the awards and everything that everyone can look forward to. Once again, we are, of course, going to be seeing Critics' Choice Awards, CW, TBS, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and I think we're really excited. It should be really great. So I hope everyone is excited. I hope you guys have some great stuff to wear as well. Do you have? Are you excited to be back in the idea of dressing to the nines? Do you have something specific you want to wear? I feel like you got some clothes too. Don't just pass away the mic. You've got something special.
You're looking sharp tonight, Tim. So
I
we
have
know.
not yet decided what to wear yet, but I'm so excited that we are back in person, that we can dress up, that we can see one another, that we can hug one another, and we're not hidden under masks or like in Zoom boxes, and it's like, hey, you're still on mute, we can't hear your speech. So we're going to be downstairs in the ballroom, and I'm so excited for that. And
Yes,
just
downstairs.
seeing everybody again, like it's been such a long time coming,
Yes.
and we are back, and we are in person, and we're all vaxxed and tested, and
I'll be wearing an amazing American designer tomorrow, so just wait for it and look. I'm not going to divulge it tonight. It's going to be a surprise.
I will be wearing an American
surprises
designer
on
too.
the
Then
on the carpet. Okay.
You're wearing an American designer too?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know who yet, but
And who will you be wearing tomorrow?
I will be wearing a friend hooked me up. So I don't know if you've either. Am I connected with either of you on social media? So I ordered an outfit, and when I got it, it was too big. And it was the day before I left for Los Angeles, left Kansas City for Los Angeles. And I said, what am I going to do? And a friend of mine came and she said, I have a boutique. Her boutique is 79 Rose. She said, come see me, have some champagne.
Is that a
And
plug?
that's the plug right there.
Well, hey,
That's the plug.
no plugs. No plugs.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag ad.
No
Make
plugs.
sure.
But I'm saying that because I never really had that experience. I usually just get my stuff off the rack and just keep it moving. I'm a
Nice.
tomboy. Like let's do this. And she said, come in, have a dress. And so she got me a dress, and I'll be wearing it. And she saved the
Looking
day.
for you tomorrow.
Yes.
Looking for you
Right,
as well,
exactly. Yes, we'll find one another.
Jazz. Yes.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Tim. Thank you so much, Jazz.
Thank you for
I've
having
learned
us.
so much. I really have, especially from Jazz.
All right. Enjoy the party. You are wonderful.
Let me grab you a couple more drinks on the way out.
Was it good for you?
I was like, we're going to grab some cookies. We'll grab critics.
Cookies and critics. I'm in.
All right. Well, yeah. If you want to move, just give us a second while we wait for our next person to come up here. And let me actually mute one of those mics. Mute one of those mics there too. But I think that we've already started really well. And I think the Critics' Choice Awards are going to look amazing. I'm really excited to see what we have coming up too. Now we talked about some of the big actors and actresses. I think we got some more people here. We got Clayton.
Well,
Clayton
hello.
with Variety.
Hi. Come on
Give
in.
Clayton that microphone.
Clayton,
Let's talk to him. Let's
do
have
you
him
want
in.
Clayton
Please,
here with me?
You sit right next to you on the left there. On
Over
the left,
here.
on the right, on the right. Let's do left. On the left. We're doing a Beyonce here. On the left.
To the left, to the left. There we are. Hi, Clayton.
how are
I think this
you?
is the first time we're meeting each other in person.
3D is crazy these days.
Yes, it is. It's lovely to be here and see you.
How you
Yo,
doing?
shining face. This is a great night.
It's a good night. It's going to be a good night tomorrow night.
Yes.
A lot of big things happening.
But we are partying tonight on the rooftop of the Fairmont Century
Behaving
Plaza Hotel.
ourselves.
Behaving.
We're behaving ourselves.
We are behaving ourselves. Okay, that's important to
to.
say. We have.
Oh no, we can all get
Behave.
canceled by tomorrow if we don't watch it. That's the issue. Everything you say, everything you
As long as
do
that-
is being
as long as
watched
it happens
right
after
now.
I'm out of here. That's right.
Yes, yes. Well, I am definitely behaving myself. I'm here talking about
I love
the
your dress, by the
pre-party.
way. You look really fly today. I like this.
Oh,
You look
thank you,
good.
Clayton. You're gonna have to stay here all night.
But,
So, how is the party going tonight?
I mean, I got here a little while ago. It's feeling lively. A lot of good things happening. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Seeing old friends for the first time in like 2 years.
Oh wow, in
The
person.
3D version of Zoom is pretty crazy. You know,
It
this
is.
what you charge extra money for at the movie theater, right?
What's it like seeing people's legs these days now? Now you can see people's legs now. You know that they have legs.
I'm
How's that working
struggling
out?
with pants. Listen. This is
I
a
am
secret,
the good top queen. I have the best sweaters, the best blouses, but the bottoms is the same jeans.
If
Same jeans
y'all
every
have
time.
seen me on Zoom, there's a 90% chance I wasn't really wearing full pants like over the last year and a half. So getting back into pants has been a
Yes.
struggle.
Yes. So speaking of what you're going to get into, do you know what you're wearing tomorrow?
Christian Dior. No, I don't. I do have a tux. I think I'm gonna do some blue and black. I think I'm rocking a little nice hat. No hat today. This is new for me.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm hosting the red carpet show on KTLA tomorrow, leading into this. So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations.
So
what are you hoping to talk about most tomorrow on the red carpet?
Ooh, I mean.
No favorites because publicists are probably watching.
Oh,
so.
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite film was not nominated for Best Picture, so I won't hear that. But I think
You can say that then. That's fine. You can say that.
So what was your favorite film this year?
Come on.
Oh, come on. I'm going to have to say
on.
neither
Joaquin.
was mine, but my favorite film this year was animated. It was Mitchell's versus the Machines. And
Great year for animation.
Yes.
Underrated how great it was.
Yes.
My top 5 films of the year, 3 of them were animated films.
yes,
And we didn't nominate a single animated film in Best Picture. We need to do better.
do better.
We'll get it next time.
Well, it's one of those things that sometimes it just kind of gets so shuffled. We get so many things, and it's almost a longer year again, another longer COVID year. So that's kind of where we came into play, one way or the other. But I think we also still have a strong list of contenders, no
Oh,
matter
for
what,
sure.
though, too.
Yeah.
We were already talking about Belfast. We were talking about Don't Look Up recently, too. What's the one, if someone asks you, Clayton, that do you say, go watch this? What's the one you say, go watch this one? You're going to enjoy this one. It's out there. It's
Of
going to
the
be something
nominees?
of the nominees that are out there. Let's just say that.
It's always tough because I always say my favorite film of the year is never accessible to the masses. So I'm always very weary. But listen, give Power of the Dog a shot, give Coda a shot, give Belfast a shot. I mean, you can do no worse than Dune. Dune is amazing.
Yes, I think everybody's seen King Richard
King
at this
Richard,
point. Yes,
feel
yes.
good. I mean, very great Will Smith. I think you watch West Side Story just for Ariana DeBose alone.
Yes.
She's incredible. You have it's a
And The
really strong
Return.
year.
Oh, there we are, West Side Story. Yes.
Well, and this is what I want to ask Clayton here, too, because this is something I get a lot of people asking these days as well. In a world of criticisms and how we put Best Picture, but sometimes the Best Picture and the Best Director don't sync up. What do you tell people when they ask you that? Because I've had my own things that I tell people when I try to explain how things work. What do you say when they ask that?
I mean, direction is a very hard thing for I don't say normal people, but like consumers to comprehend. Like, it's the Best Picture. That means it was best directed. No, because it's about the vision of the film. Like Power of the Dog is my second favorite film of the year, but it's the best directed film because of the way Jane Campion lays out clues into everything that unfolds. Like the minute it was over, I wanted to watch it again because I wanted to catch up on all that.
It's a really phenomenal mystery film.
Yeah, it is
but you don't
incredible.
realize it's a mystery until I got to watch this one again.
It's
because
it's a big thing with animated films too. People don't see that animation requires direction. It's undervalued in the medium. So, directing is something, if you look at all the tech categories for Dune, how can you argue that's not one of the best directed films of the year?
Yes.
I got phone calls.
Phone calls coming in.
Jane Campion calling. I reach her.
She said, yes, talk a
I
little
think
bit more about
that
my
was
film,
Danny going
honey.
with a thumbs up. Danny
Yep.
just sent you a thumbs up when talking about Dune. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, Dune is an amazing
Yeah,
film.
it's fantastic.
The coloring of Dune, the acting, all of the updates to. Did you see the original?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I did. Yes,
I'll
I'm
see.
one of those. I'm not diehard of the original, but Denis Villeneuve, probably one of our best living directors at the moment.
Yes.
One of those that we have to acknowledge we're alive when Denis Villeneuve is making movies. Arrival, Prisoners, Enemy. I don't think he's missed yet. And what he does with Dune, taking that dense story, making it accessible, and then Greg Fraser's cinematography. And if anyone doesn't know who Greg Fraser is, the reason you love the Batman is because of the way the Batman looks, and that's because of Greg Fraser. Dude is amazing artist. And
Now, they're already talking about maybe 3, right? They could have put there's a second part to this, but they said they're already working on an idea of a third Dune movie.
there are 6 books, I think. And,
It's a very dense, yes.
and the movie
myth.
is the first half of the first book. So he can do quite
Yes.
series with it.
He can take us all the way if he wants to.
Ready
Yes,
for
he
it.
can. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
And as someone who does the awards watch, I mean, you do all the awards for Variety as well. What's it like juggling all that stuff as people throw so many things to you? Because in a world of awards, sometimes it's the indie that catches our heart. Coda at Sundance, but then again, you have big films like Dune as well too. So, as someone who is at a big vehicle like Variety, how do you kind of juggle all that?
I mean, I live by the motto, it's not about what we want to win, it's about what will, right? It's like my favorite film of the year, I never predicted it to win Best Picture once because you just know, you can read the tea leaves, you know what can appeal to audiences. You look at categories and the way films are received, like Belfast and Coda, when it comes to the Oscars, it's a preferential ballot. It's not about what's most loved, it's about what's most liked. You have to balance the two. You have to learn how to try to see a movie through others' eyes, and I think that's hard for some people to do.
Yes.
But I mean, listen, one thing about punditry, you can be wrong also. We've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again in the future, but Coda, not my favorite film of the year. I love Coda, and I think that we live in a time of absolutes. If it's not in your top 10, well, you hated it. No, just it should be hard to be top 10, top 5 of the year.
Yes.
You have to beat some incredible odds. So I'm excited with this crop that we have, and I would be happy with any of them. I don't think there's a bad movie in the lineup.
Do you feel like anything has got momentum yet? Because we've jumped around a little bit. I think Coda might have a little bit, but I think do you see anything that has momentum that you feel that what we could add on to if possible?
Coda has momentum right now. I'm feeling a big surge right now for two in particular. Ingenue Ellis and King Richard is gaining some traction. I don't know if it's enough to overtake Ariana DeBose, but I think she's going to be close. And not nominated with us, a miss, but she's nominated at Oscar, Penelope Cruz. Watch out for her. She's a sleeper waiting in the wings, and I wouldn't be surprised if she pulled it off. And also, we're in a year where stats are falling. We're in a time where stats don't matter anymore. Critics' Choice is going to be a really big impact we usually are, but this year in particular, because voting opens on Thursday. Speeches today are going to matter. Tomorrow are going to matter.
Yes. So let me ask if it's okay if I cut in a little bit. So why are stats mattering less now?
Expansion of the Academy. They've added 3,500 new members in the last couple of years. A lot of them are international. Those are the people we don't see at events like this because they're in France and in Italy and England doing their France, Italy, and England thing. So when you look at a crop of contenders, you have to look at it and say, what appeals to an international audience, in particular a European viewer? And we don't share that those same tastes typically.
Yes.
And they're more open to subtitles. I wish Americans we were as well. But, they just have a very unique taste. And it's about trying to crack that code. Mm-hmm. But that's been the biggest change, is that big influx of new members.
Reading the tea leaves. I love it.
I will say, though, that I'm excited because Critics' Choice now has international members, too. This last year we added some, and we're going to have dual ballrooms, too. We're going to have one in London as well.
Yep.
So we're going to have people, because the BAFTA Awards are happening at the same time. And so a lot of people who are in UK who can't make it over here to LA are going to be there. So we're going to have a chance to hear from them and hopefully see them accept awards, too.
Yeah.
So expanding, I think, Critics' Choice into an international kind of frame of mind was always something that was going to happen or needed to happen.
Yeah,
too.
and it's a good move. It allows them to stay engaged with the race. COVID threw off a lot of things for us this year and every year that's come before this, but we're coming to the end of it now, and it's time to keep a focus on the celebration. We love movies, we love TV. Let's make that be known.
Yes. And the awards, that is one chief way that we celebrate. Make sure that you retweet, repost, and make sure you use our hashtag Critics' Choice, and hashtag Critics' Choice Awards. Yes.
It's so nice hanging out with you.
It has been such a pleasure.
You can't be this fly tomorrow. It can't be 2 days in a row.
I'm coming.
All the
Not
cameras
one.
are going to be there, though, right? The cameras are showing you need to do something.
That's
so.
true.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I hope I'm not setting myself up.
I mean, you're going to make me go shopping tonight. I'm going to have to do it. But make sure you guys watch at home. It's going to be fun. It'll be a good time.
Fantastic. Well, Clayton, thank you very much.
Love
And thank you for
guys.
everything you do during award season as well. Yeah.
Oh, watch out.
And we got Sean Edwards over here.
Sean Edwards.
Big
We got to watch
personalities
him
coming
because
in. You better get ready for it.
he just put down a drink, so I don't know what that means.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about movies. We're talking about TV. We're talking about everything.
Bring it
Critics'
in.
Choice.
Bring it in.
So jump on in. We need more people. We need more love. Who else wants to jump in and talk some movies with us? Anyone else?
Hi.
We're going live here right now.
How are you? Oh, wonderful.
We're going around, so we're still talking Critics' Choice Awards. Of course, we start 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 4 p.m. Yeah, sit down. Yeah, right, by all means. Yeah, by all means. So CWTBS, you're going to catch us there. And of course,
interview me real quick.
Let me interview Sean Edwards.
Why am I not in the screen?
well,
though?
we have to
Come
open
sit-
up a
come
little
sit
bit
on
here.
this
1
side
second.
with me.
Let me do the. Here, you jump to the other side. Jump to the other side there.
What are we doing? What's going on?
I'm a one-man camera crew / everything too, so that's kind of what we're doing.
be on the screen.
There you are. There's your.
What are we talking about? Cause she got on that red, baby. Nah, what's going on, man? This was supposed to happen on January the 9th,
Yes, but
but
here
we wouldn't have
are.
been on the roof in January 9th, so I'm glad it's on March 13th.
You
We're
are
outside.
looking fly tonight, sir.
Hey, I'm just trying to get my LA swag on. After that Super Bowl halftime show, I went and got this hat in honor of Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like West Coast. I was always an East Coast kind of guy, but I appreciated the West.
Yes.
The same with my movies.
the same with your movies.
Well, I'm an East Coast guy. Spike Lee's
Spike
my guy.
Lee. Spike.
But I love John Singleton.
Yes.
You know, East
that's
Coast,
true.
West Coast.
Yes.
But I'm also down with the Midwest. I got to give love to Kevin Wilmot
Kevin
and my guy, Morgan Cooper on that Bel Air reboot.
is doing his thing.
Guys, no. So what are we talking about? Critics'
We-
Choice, right?
We are
Tomorrow
talking
night.
about Critics' Choice. We're talking about nominees.
All right,
And
what category are we breaking down?
oh, what you want to talk about? You want to talk about Best Picture?
We've already
Just the
talked a
big
little
one.
bit about Best Picture already. We talked about some of the actors, but we're jumping around everywhere. So
well,
whatever
good.
you want to talk about,
Yeah.
that's where we are right now.
Well,
Bringing Sean
I'm from the
Edwards.
Midwest, so it snows in the Midwest, and the best part about snow, I like hitting the fresh patches, this untouched. So let's hit some untouched territories.
Well, then we're going to have to talk about
Best actresses, I think.
Best
Definitely where
actresses.
we should go
Oh,
first.
wow.
We have not talked about
Y'all
Best
gonna put me
actresses.
on the hot seat,
Yeah,
best
we haven't
actress.
talked about the actors
Are we
now.
still allowed to say actress?
I think it's a
Yes.
category, right?
Are
So
we
it's-
still
it's a
allowed to
It's
say
category.
Best
women?
actress,
Are we
yes.
still allowed to
Category
say
name.
ladies?
Yes, we are
Okay,
saying
let's
it
talk
all.
it.
We are
Let's
saying
talk
it
about
all.
let's talk about the women, which
Yeah.
is fitting. It's International Women's Month.
It is.
So a shout out to all the ladies, including my
right.
mama first, the #1 woman on the planet.
I know that's right.
So,
your
all right,
mama.
who are the nominees for Critics' Choice Best Actress?
Well, let's start off first with Kristen Stewart here. for
Kristen
Spencer.
Stewart.
Spencer.
I partied with Kristen Stewart back in the day. I think it was the second or third Twilight film.
That was
I
a
had
good
like
film.
the greatest party ever on the balcony of my room at the Four Seasons, and she's real people.
I know that when you did a tweet and you celebrated her for
No. We partied together. The thing was, so I did the junket for the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and for all you people who don't know what a junket is, when you all these media people come together, usually in LA, and you sit down and do these interviews. So like, for some reason, word leaked out that I was having an after party in my room. So everybody went down to the restaurant. They finished eating, smoking on the patio, and came up to the room. The only reason it happened because this was pre-smartphone. That would never happen today. There was no way to document it. So everybody was comfortable. There's nobody in there
Right.
taking selfies. Nobody was tweeting. Oh,
No
Kristen
film, no
Stewart's in
reels.
room 412 at the Four Seasons. So it was fun. But no, I liked her performance in Spencer. It's very nuanced, and I actually believe she was Princess Diana. She's a really good actress.
Yes, agreed. Yes,
So-
I love Twilight,
Yeah.
but how you feeling about Miss Lucille Ball?
Lucille
No,
Ball.
she was
That's
good. I really like being the Ricardos, but I'm a history nut, but I'm a huge Aaron Sorkin fan because Aaron Sorkin can write, and I love the
Master
purpose and setup of the movie.
constructionist, yes.
I thought Nicole. This category is so competitive. I like Nicole a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
She captured that because she wasn't just being Lucille Ball that we know from the show, but she also had to portray Lucille Ball when she was off camera.
Yes, the Lucille
'Cause
Ball that
people
we didn't
forget,
know. Yeah.
People are different when they're off camera because it's called acting. Like, people see me on television. I'm not the same dude on television as I am in real life. It's called, it's like, it's a
Well,
difference.
I'm going to say I'm as goofy in real life as I am
Well,
on
I mean, it's
camera.
still different, but I like Nicole. So who's next? So we got
Yes.
Kristen Stewart, Nicole Kidman.
Well, I actually want to go over here to Jessica Chastain next.
Oh, man.
Putting her foot in it.
Man.
Yes.
Molly's Game. This is going to be a makeup call for Molly's Game. Molly's Game is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Another Aaron Sorkin.
Another Aaron
Another
Sorkin film,
Molly's
yes.
Game is, but no, so I think what she did in the eyes of Tammy Faye is sort of the same thing Renee Zellweger did a couple of years ago. In that, what was that? Judy Garland movie?
Yes, Judy Garland, yes.
Where the movie was kind of like really not that dope, but the
performance
was
itself,
so
yes.
incredible. It's like the eyes of Tammy Faye as a movie is just kind of like, it's okay. It's not like greatness, but her performance just it supersedes everything.
Yes, and it elevates the film.
Right.
I agree
So
with
who
you.
else we got? That's 3. I know we got 3 more, but we'll be doing 6.
Next up, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady.
Yeah, House of Gucci. I like House of. A lot of people didn't like her. I like House of Gucci. Lady Gaga brought that Gaga. So I mean,
She brought
I know
that
a lot of people
Gaga.
was complaining about the accents and the this and that, but I mean, I thought she brought it.
Yeah, I was very
I thought she brought
pleased.
it. I thought she brought it.
I saw this
I like House
as
of Gucci a
a
lot.
mob opera without
Yeah.
the violence.
I like House of
Yes.
Gucci a lot. So what do we got after this? So we got that's 4. Who's 5th?
Let's see here. Next we go to Olivia Coleman in The Lost
Oh
Daughter.
yeah, Olivia Coleman's just she's
She's
just
Olivia
one
Coleman.
though.
Yeah.
But I mean, she brought Maggie Gyllenhaal's script to life. I liked her. Like you wasn't really supposed to like her character, so she did a good job because she was like cray cray, like stealing a little girl's doll and all that craziness. I'm like, lady,
But
you
it was
need to go check
it was
in.
all believable.
It was. 'Cause
all believable.
No, Olivia Coleman's good. She's good.
Yeah.
Even Dakota Johnson was good in it. I hope I didn't spoil the movie. I'm like giving away plot points. But
No,
it's
that's
been out
good.
for
That's good.
been out for a
It's
while.
been
You're
out
not
for
watching this-
long
You're
enough.
not watching this live stream if you haven't seen The Lost Daughter. I'm sorry if I spoiled it for you. But there's a lot more to it than just her stealing the baby doll. The baby doll. She's stealing the baby doll for all my down south people. She's stealing the baby doll. Baby doll. Like
I say
doll.
doll.
On the phone. You say baby doll?
Yeah, say baby doll.
D-O-L-L, doll. What's up, Hillary?
Oh, what's up,
here she
Hillary?
comes.
Hillary
Hold on,
in the
so
house.
far, let's get this last one in.
Let's get this
Well, we
last
got Alana next. So here's Alana.
Yes, Chaim. Yes, from Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, but it was like, I was mad at Paul Thomas Anderson because he's putting unnecessary stuff in the movie.
Sure.
Like, we didn't need Sean Penn and Bradley Cooper. It took me out the line. I just want to see her seduce this little boy. Because usually it's a grown man seducing a little girl.
Yes.
So, like, we got a chance to see a grown woman seduce a little boy. She was good. Now, I ain't going to lie. I don't listen to her music.
Oh, but one thing I loved was that she has her sister's faces. They all had the same face, and I said, okay, I knew. Yeah, I mean, but they're the same face.
We got to predict the winner.
All right, you
Well,
got
we have Ingenue Ellis too, right? So
Ingenue Ellis is supporting.
support. That's right. Sorry,
Yeah,
supporting.
she
I'm
definitely
mixed
not
up thing.
winning Best Actress.
Sorry, that's right.
She
So
ain't winning support neither, but she definitely ain't winning Best Actress.
you know one thing
But
I
she
do.
could, but she could.
One thing I want to put to you, Sean, is this. I want to ask you, why do awards love biopics? Why do I love people who play biopics?
They're easy. We already know the story. It's easy. A lot of people lazy.
And they make us feel like they are giving us a behind-the-scene view into a figure that we want to know more about.
It's easy. It's lazy. Like, people always like, why doesn't Hollywood make more original movies? And then they make original movies and no one goes and see it. We want to know. We want to already know.
Yeah.
We already want to know.
You got to attract your audience.
Tay is sexy.
Yes, he is. Nicole Byer, she's
Fabulous.
sexy. She's sexy. Let me tell you.
They are rehearsing right now.
They are rehearsing right now. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to see this
So who's
woman.
winning this
I
Best
watched
Actress?
every single
Who's winning
episode
Best
of
Actress?
Well,
Nailed
no,
It.
we are not going to give out the winners in our opinions. 'Cause I don't want publicists to be checking off like who who votes for what.
Predicting.
You want to
My
predict?
prediction
What's your
is
prediction?
The winner will be the audience. When you watch the Critics' Choice Awards show, because they all going to be in attendance. And we love seeing the ladies, starting with the red carpet. No, let's do this. Out of the 6 nominees for Best Actress,
right.
who's going to be the flyest on the red carpet?
Ooh, the
That's
flyest on
what
the
else.
red
Who
carpet.
is
Now,
going to
that's
be the
one
flyest
right
on the
there.
red carpet?
I'm gonna, I have loved Nicole Kidman in the past.
Oh, we got
Always
Gucci. No
Kidman.
Gucci.
Lady Gaga, you
No
can't
Gucci,
beat
you don't
Lady
think so?
Gaga in flyness. Lady Gaga's middle name is Red Carpet.
Her
You're not gonna-
middle
not
name is
gonna
Red
beat
Carpet.
it. How you gonna
But
beat-
I
Nicole
love a
Kidman
nice,
can't-
sleek,
Nicole Kidman-
classic, traditional fashion. Yes.
Nicole Kidman cannot
Can't
compete
touch
with Lady Gaga on the red
Can't
carpet.
touch it. Okay.
No,
All right.
no,
All
no.
right.
Maybe
I hear
maybe
you.
Kristen Stewart on the red
Nah,
carpet.
sometimes Kristen
Kristen
Stewart
Stewart.
get lazy.
She's been
Sometimes.
dressing up recently for this
Nah,
because she's been
sometimes
winning.
Kristen Stewart
But
come
it's
out the house
Spencer.
like she about to go to the grocery store.
Now, when I saw the poster for Spencer, I thought it was for
But she
another
not- but
Phantom
no,
Thread.
but she
So
not-
the fashion.
Sometimes Kristen Stewart don't come out the house right, and sometimes she picks stuff that just don't pop. Lady Gaga, at the very least, it's gonna be
Very
be
strategic.
fascinating,
Very
and it's
thoughtful.
gonna be like a showstopper piece. It may not work, but you're still gonna be like, what is
Nah,
that?
I've
So I'm
never
just
seen
going with
Lady
that.
Gaga not
How
work.
about Jessica? She
Nah,
knows.
Jessica not known for fashion. She not known for Jessica not known.
Maybe
for
she
fashion.
turning the corner. She's getting into a
Jessica's-
new lane.
Jessica's not known for fat. No.
So you're
Okay.
gonna give it to Lady Gaga on the carpet then?
So
Lady
it's
Gaga,
hands down.
Lady Gaga,
All day long.
Out of the 6 nominees, Gaga winning the carpet game.
She went in the carpet game. I can't
now,
argue
is she
with
gonna
that.
be in
She
London
bring
or
it-
is she
she
gonna be
been
in
bringing it
London
for
or
years.
L.A.?
Oh, that's a good question. You tell me.
I don't. I don't.
Come see us, Miss Gaga.
I don't know. I just set up chairs.
Well,
I
this
just set up
is
chairs. This has been fun. I'm about to get out of here.
Edwards, yes.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
before we do
Pretty sure
that, you're gonna bring us some sponsors, right? Some great sponsors who are
Yeah,
part
we got
of
to
the
bring up.
Critics' Choice.
We got free cookies tonight. We're gonna bring over the cookie sponsor.
Irish
We got a
cookies.
lot of drinks. And of course, we're at the fabulous Fairmont Century Plaza Hotel. True story. This used to be, whether you hate them or love them. I don't mean to jump into politics, but this used to be Ronald Reagan's favorite hotel.
Hey.
So Ronald
Yes.
and Nancy.
Oh, West.
I still say
the
just
White
say.
House.
I still say just say no. I still say just say no. Like that's a dope catchphrase.
Hey, they knew
I
how
don't
to make a
apply
slogan, didn't they?
I don't apply it to what they were applying it to, but sometimes I'm like, no, just say no. Like, I might be saying just say no to this
The
award show
original
if it works.
influencers.
Yeah,
Listen
it
to
works.
right.
Yeah, that's what
But
counts.
no, we're at the fabulous, look, this is so cool. I love this. So we're at the fabulous Fairmont Century Plaza Hotel, which is located on Avenue of the Stars, which is in Century City.
Yes.
It's right next to the Fox lot, which is now owned by Disney. Like, this is like Hollywood. There's so, like, if the walls of this hotel could talk, we wouldn't even be able to broadcast this live stream. It just would be too adult.
Our ears would be.
Yeah.
I'm
But
also a huge nerd, so we're close to Nakatomi Plaza.
Yes,
In my
we
mind
are.
as well.
Die Hard is one of Die Hard is one of my all-time favorite movies. Like, if Die Hard was up, Die Hard should be like eligible for every award show every year.
Best Christmas movie for
Best,
sure.
No,
Best
best
Christmas
movie.
movie. Yes, best
no,
Christmas movie.
Die Hard should have been best picture. Like, out of all the movies that came out the year Die Hard came out, what movie do you remember? Everybody, Die Hard was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Like Bruce Willis
What
was
else
that
came
dude.
out that year?
I
Beetlejuice
don't
came out that year, no?
Let me do some checking.
You don't
You guys-
even know. What
Don't
year
know,
did
don't
Die
know.
Hard come out?
89?
Die Hard.
Nah, we got the Google machine in
Yeah.
full effect on the live
Tell
stream.
us,
What year
Derek.
did Die Hard come out?
It came out
That's a
1988.
Yeah,
1988.
you don't know
All right.
another movie that came out in 1988. I know it came out in 1989.
What came out in
Do the Right Thing, the
Do
greatest
the right
movie
thing.
ever, the greatest movie of all time.
Spike is your man.
Yeah, Do
East
the Right
Coast
Thing is the greatest.
represent.
Do the Right Thing is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're gonna get Hillary in
Stand
here.
and Deliver.
partial to school days,
Beetlejuice also
but-
came out in
Nah,
1988.
Die Hard's better
Yes,
than Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Die Hard's better. What
Dirty
else?
Rotten Scoundrels.
What did? Nah.
Midnight Run.
No, Die Hard's better than all those.
are dope
I haven't
titles.
watched Midnight Run since '88.
Rain Man.
No, I haven't watched Rain Man since. Who watches Rain Man
I
on
watched
repeat?
Rain Man. I watched Rain Man.
No. What else came out in '88?
Beetlejuice did come out. Yes, the same year. It did come out the same year.
But Die Hard's better than Beetlejuice.
Big.
I'm
Willow.
gonna have to say
Looks like Scrooged.
Big. Oh,
Nah,
see,
Die Hard's better than Big. Die Hard's better than Screw. Come on. What won the Oscar that year? Probably Out of Africa.
You know what? All these critics. I'm gonna check, but we should have
Yeah.
a critic here. who
I'm
can tell
outta
us.
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm gonna have to
What?
say Big and Beetlejuice are
No,
giving Die Hard
no,
a run.
no,
Come on,
no,
yippee-ki-yay.
No. Die Hard's better than Big and Beetlejuice put together.
Just crazy talk over here. Crazy talk on the rooftop of Fairmont Century Plaza Hotel.
Die Hard. Die Hard. Is Die Hard up for anything tomorrow night?
I don't believe it is up for anything
It's
tomorrow
not.
night.
It should be.
It should be.
It's a.
Well, I'm about to die
Fantastic.
hard right now and get out of here.
I
Who's
know
who's
that's
hosting
right.
next?
By the way,
Hillary
1988,
Atkins.
The Last Emperor won.
Oh, Die Hard's better than Last Emperor. Die Hard is most definitely. Who's watched The Last Emperor since 1988?
It's a great. It's a great movie.
So this
It's a
is
great
the
movie.
test of a true classic. If you're at home and you got to vacuum the carpet or do some laundry, and you channel surfing,
Yes.
and The Last Emperor's on, and Die Hard's on, which one are you stopping
That's
on?
true. That's true.
Die
yeah,
Hard.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
not ever-
I'm watching Die Hard.
We all have our movies.
Nah,
I'm watching The Last Dragon. I'm rewatching like
Yeah.
Who
But The
Framed
Last
Roger
Dragon ain't
Rabbit.
The Last
I'm
Emperor.
rewatching a bunch of miscellaneous stuff over and over again. Doesn't mean it's a great movie. It just means it means a lot to me.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true, but Die Hard's still
yeah.
better than all those.
all right, John. We're gonna
This
give you a
has been a
job to go
blast.
find us
Thank
more
you so
people.
much.
What gonna do? I'm gonna bring
Talk about-
Kyrie over.
Talk about TV. Get us
Yeah,
talk
we
about
gonna bring.
cookies.
But who's the next host? Hillary.
I don't know yet.
Hillary.
I think so.
Hillary's the next
Hillary,
host. All
come
right,
on in.
come on in.
We'll do the switch out right now.
Yes.
Please do. Bring everyone. We need some more TV as well. Yeah, bring it over. Of course, we are still moving along towards tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be on CW and TBS, so make sure to catch it. I know it's really loud right now, but we'll figure this out. And just so you know, there's so many great things to come. And our hosts, of course, Nicole Byer, Tate Diggs, they are going to just blow you away. So when you look at these guys as our hosts, they're going to do some great hosting. So I'm very, very excited. All right, so next we're going to have Hillary. Hillary, introduce both of yourselves right now as we come to you, and let's talk about Critics' Choice.
Hello, everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin, chair of our Marketing and Promotion Committee. I'm with one of our finest members, Michael Ordonez, who is an entertainment writer for the Los Angeles Times. Michael, how are you doing tonight?
Marvy, how are you doing, Hillary?
Good. I'm excited about our show tomorrow. What about you?
Oh, yeah, it'll be a fine old time, I hope. It usually is.
Yes. How many years have you been going to the awards?
Gosh, not that many. 4, 5? I don't know. Not that many.
Okay, well, I have you beat. I've got 10 under my belt.
course,
I
of
know. A decade worth of Critics' Choice shows. Tomorrow is our 27th annual show. Can you
Wow.
believe it?
Yes, we're almost mature.
We almost are. Well, let's just delve in with the biggie. The Best Picture race.
Okay.
We have 10 nominees.
That we do.
Who do you feel are the favorites, and who are your personal favorites, Michael?
Well, in terms of our awards,
Yes.
I think that it's a pretty tight race between The Power of the Dog and Belfast, based on what I'm hearing from people. For the Oscar race, I think Power of the Dog is a slam dunk. Led in nominations, and I think there's a lot of goodwill toward it, and a lot of goodwill toward Jane Campion, who I think is a slam dunk to win the Oscar for director, and I think we're going to give it to her too. My personal pick among the nominees is probably Licorice Pizza, but I think the one that I would give to over everything was probably Drive My Car, which we didn't nominate for Best Picture.
Well, let's talk more about Drive My Car. It
Okay.
is so high up on so many critics' lists. And we have it nominated for Best International Feature,
Yeah.
not in Best Picture.
True.
I'm going to point out for the Oscars, it's nominated for Best Picture, Best Director
Yes.
for Mr. Hamaguchi.
And adapt the screenplay.
Yep. So tell me why you love that film so much.
I had the good fortune to interview Ryusuke Hamaguchi about how he adapted not just one Murakami story, but 3, and included large portions of Uncle Vanya in making something that was entirely his own. I mean, he stayed true to the themes of the Murakami story, Drive My Car, as he worked in these other threads, but he made a statement that was entirely his own. It's one of the only films I saw this year that I left feeling was a profound film, that was really saying something rich and unique about the human condition. I know this sounds awful. Everybody listening to this right now is going, oh my God, I don't want to see that film. But I loved it. I walked out of it with that kind of warm buzz in my head of something has happened. I've just witnessed something. But I loved Licorice Pizza. I mean, I was crazy about Licorice Pizza. That's another one where I saw that before driving my car. So I left the theater slacking my editor saying, I have a new favorite film of the year. I live in the Valley. I recognized a lot of it. I thought there was so much heart, and it was so idiosyncratic. It felt real and true to me.
Well, I'll tell you what films really struck me on the list.
Please
and
do.
I feel like it's pretty much a lock for our Best International Feature.
Yeah, I agree.
But getting back to who we've nominated for Best Picture, I have 3 favorites.
Okay.
I have Belfast, I absolutely adored.
Yeah.
Coda, I love.
Coda's beautiful.
And Coda is on an upswing with, it's, Troy Kotsur won the SAG Award, it won the ensemble. Like, I feel like Coda is a real possibility to take a prize, and it would be taking it from Belfast or Power of the Dog. But I think so many people related to the film. It's so warm and wonderful, and it just had such resonance and gave a voice to underrepresented people, deaf actors, and depicted the life of a deaf family with so much love and humor.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think that it rang true. It didn't feel like an after-school special saying, and now look at our deaf friends. This was something that felt like it came from within. And I don't know why Amelia Jones isn't being nominated everywhere. I loved her performance. I thought she was great, and has a beautiful singing voice. But was that? Those are 2 of the ones that are your favorites. What was the third?
Power of the Dog.
Oh, Power of the Dog.
Yeah. So Belfast, Power of the Dog, and Coda are my personal favorites. I also love Licorice Pizza as well. I have a lot of friends who grew up in the Valley that I talked to about the film, and it just really hit home for them. And but I want to pick up on something you said, and that's people who are not nominated, but what I'm talking about, people who were not nominated for the Oscars that our fine organization has nominated. And one of them is Denis Villeneuve, director of Dune.
Oh, yeah. How did he not get nominated?
How did he not get nominated?
Yeah.
We have also gone kind of Gaga for Gucci, meaning we nominated Lady Gaga.
She made my personal top 5 for sure.
And Jared Leto for supporting.
Who also made my personal top 5, and I will, fight people over this performance. He was part of the roundtable, the Other Times roundtable I did with a bunch of contending actors. Some people have laughed at his performance because it's true he does use a fairly extreme accent, but I thought that he entirely inhabited that mask. That I completely bought it, and I thought that he did something that was very difficult, which is he made us care about this guy who seemed so absurd and even ridiculous.
Absolutely. I mean, let's talk about some other people that we are honoring with nominations.
Right on.
Rita Moreno from West Side Story. I know.
Yeah, Rita Moreno. Look, I've got a, full disclosure, I have a very soft spot in my heart for Rita Moreno, and always will, because she reminds me of my mom. I look at her and I kind of see my mom. But great talent for many decades. And I thought that Tony Kushner did a brilliant job filling out that world, giving much more context to the characters and to the environment. So the way they flipped the Doc character to become this new character that she could play, Valentina or something like that.
Valentina, yes.
It really worked for me, and her performance, I thought, nailed it. The moment, spoiler alert, the moment when she confronted the boys and said, "You've grown up to be rapists," that hit so hard when I saw it. I was very glad that it was said out loud. And the way she said it, I could easily have seen her getting the second supporting actress nomination for West Side Story, and that would have been a record unto itself. I mean, Ariana DeBose, if she wins, she and Moreno are going to join a very select club of people who have won the Oscar for playing the same role. Can you name the other 2 pairs?
Can I name the other 2 pairs?
There are 2 other pairs.
It's got to be a Shakespeare character.
No, although
Yeah.
several have been
Come on.
nominated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us, Michael.
Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro both played Vito Corleone in Godfather and Godfather Part 2. And recently, following the footsteps of Heath Ledger,
The Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, as the
Joaquin
Joker,
Phoenix.
right.
That's right. That's right.
So they're the only two pairs of actors to win the Oscar for playing the same role. Many have been nominated for playing the same role, but they're the only ones to win, and I believe DeBose is going to join that group with Moreno.
Yes, I believe she is. But let's move on. There's another person that we nominated, another actor
Okay.
that didn't get an Oscar nod, and he's a personal favorite of mine.
Okay.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah.
How can you not love Nick Cage?
That's a wonderful movie.
It is. We're talking about Pig.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage starring in Pig.
He's great in that movie, and the way I describe that movie, to people is it's John Wick without the violence. It's John Wick with cooking instead of killing. His performance seems so settled, and the emotion is earned. I mean, his taciturn nature is earned. It's not put on. It's a lovely performance, and I hope it's the harbinger of things to come for him.
Yeah, well, what is the name of the film he has coming out, which is kind of like an Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? It's kind of anyway, I cannot wait to see it.
I don't remember the title, but it sure looks interesting, doesn't it?
It does. Right now, we still have to focus on what's at hand
Right.
with the films of last year and the performances. You mentioned doing the roundtable with the actors. What are some of your other favorite acting performances?
Let's see. You know who I would love to see win lead actress is Jessica Chastain. And this is very much for the same reason that I so admire Jared Leto's performance. Both Chastain and Leto took on extreme characterizations. They put on what people in acting school would call masks, and they fully inhabited them. They didn't just play mannerisms. In Eyes of Tammy Faye, I thought that she a full human, and I was genuinely moved by her performance. I didn't know a lot of that stuff about Tammy Faye. I'm very embarrassed to say, because I grew up seeing that stuff happen, and I fell for the media caricature of her as this sort of clownish figure. And I haven't seen the documentary on which Eyes of Tammy Faye is based, but I read about her much more after watching the film, and apparently she really did these things, and she really was that compassionate, and I think Jessica Chastain projected that beautifully, very, very memorably for me. My favorite performance of the year, in a year of great female performances. So many great female performances. Hers was my favorite.
Well, let's talk about women and specifically female directors, and this has got to be Jane Campion's year.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time she directed a 1993, and I just really feel like she's got the momentum behind